Welcome back, Cyber Explorers. It's Alfie, and in this video we'll explore together with this step-by-step guide. Complete VMware Workstation Pro step-by-step guide. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Here's a step-by-step guide to download and install VMware Workstation Pro. Make sure virtualization support is turned on in the BIOS or UEFI. Download VMware Workstation Pro. Go to the VMware Workstation Pro download page. Register for a free personal use license, or purchase a commercial license if needed. Download the installer file for your operating system. Install VMware Workstation Pro. Run the installer file you downloaded. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the installation. Now you can open VMware Workstation Pro, or VMware Workstation Player from the Start menu. For basic needs, if you need to run a single VM for personal use or simple tasks, VMware Player should suffice. For advanced needs, if you require advanced features, need to run multiple VMs, or use it for professional purposes, VMware Workstation Pro is the better choice. That's it. You should now have VMware Workstation Pro installed and ready to use. To adjust preferences in VMware Workstation Pro, which apply to the entire application rather than individual virtual machines, follow these steps. Launch the VMware Workstation Pro application on your computer. Click on Edit, then Preferences in the menu bar. You'll see several sections on the left-hand side. Here's what you can customize. Workspace. Set the default virtual machine folder, where VMware Workstation Pro will store your virtual machines. Input. Adjust how the mouse and keyboard interact with virtual machines. Hotkeys. Customize or modify shortcuts for VMware Workstation actions. Display. Manage interface scaling, resolution, and display settings. USB. Configure how USB devices connect to virtual machines. Updates. Choose how and when to check for software updates. Feedback. Opt in or out of sharing anonymous usage data with VMware. Memory. Adjust memory usage for virtual machines and host sharing. Priority. Set the priority level of VMware processes for the host system CPU. Devices. Manage the outrun behavior on the host machine when a virtual machine is running. Once you've made your adjustments, click OK to apply them. These settings impact how VMware Workstation Pro operates globally on your host system, giving you control over the application's behavior and performance. To adjust virtual network settings in VMware Workstation Pro using the Virtual Network Editor, here's a detailed guide covering host-only, NAT, and bridged networks. Accessing the Virtual Network Editor, open VMware Workstation Pro. Navigate to Edit, then Virtual Network Editor. In the Virtual Network Editor, you can manage and configure various network types, including host-only, NAT, and bridged networks. Host-only network, purpose, creates a private network between the host and virtual machines, VMs. VMs can communicate with each other and the host but not with external networks. Use case, ideal for isolated testing environments, where external network access is unnecessary. Setup. In the Virtual Network Editor, click on Change Settings if needed, then select or create a host-only network, for example, VMNet1. Configure the network settings, such as IP range, and enabling the DHCP server if needed. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then Network Adapter and selecting Host Only. NAT, Network Address Translation, Network, purpose, allows VMs to access external networks, like the Internet, using the host's IP address. VMs in the same NAT network can communicate with each other. Use case, suitable for isolated environments, where VMs need Internet access, but shouldn't be directly exposed to the host network. Setup. In the Virtual Network Editor, click on Change Settings if needed, then select or create a NAT network, for example, VMnet 8. Configure NAT settings, such as gateway IP, port forwarding, and enabling the DHCP server. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then network adapter and selecting NAT. Bridged network. Purpose: connects VMs directly to the host's physical network adapter, making the VM appear as a separate device on the same network. Use case: ideal for scenarios where VMs need to interact with other devices on the same physical network. Setup: in the virtual network editor, click on Change Settings if needed, then ensure VMnet 0 is set to bridged mode. Configure VMnet 0 to bridge to a specific physical network adapter, or allow auto bridging. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then network adapter and selecting bridged. Creating a virtual machine, VM, in VMware Workstation Pro is a powerful way to run multiple operating systems on a single host machine. Here's a detailed step-by-step guide to creating a VM, along with an explanation of each section in the VM settings. Open VMware Workstation Pro from your Applications menu. The interface will display options to create, manage, and run virtual machines. Click Create a new virtual machine. This option is available on the main screen, or you can click on File then New Virtual Machine. Choose Configuration. Typical simplifies the process with default settings. Custom allows advanced configuration, recommended for experienced users. Select Installation Media. Use an ISO file, a physical disk, or install the operating system later. Choose Guest Operating System. Select the OS type, for example, Windows, Linux, and version. Name and location. Enter a name for the VM and choose where to save its files. Specify disk capacity. Set the maximum disk size, and choose whether to store the disk as a single file, or split it into multiple files. Customize hardware. Adjust hardware settings like memory, processors, and network adapters before finishing the setup. Once the VM is created, right-click on it and select Settings for further customization. VM settings. Hardware. 1. Memory. Allocate RAM for the VM. Ensure the host system retains enough memory for its operation. Example: allocate 4 GB, 4096 MB, for a Windows VM. Overcommitting memory can degrade performance. 2. Processors. Configure the number of virtual processors and cores. Example: assign to processors with 2 cores each for better performance. Enable virtualization engine options like Intel VTX or AMD V if supported. 3. Hard disk. Manage the virtual hard disk, add, remove, or resize disks. Choose between IDE, SCSI, or NVMe controllers based on performance needs. 4. CD, DVD. Attach an ISO file or physical optical drive to the VM. Example: use an ISO file to install the operating system. 5. Network adapter. Configure how the VM connects to the network. NAT, network address translation, shares the host IP address. Ideal for internet access without exposing the VM to the local network. Bridged connects the VM directly to the local network. The VM gets its own IP address, making it visible on the network. Host only creates a private network between the host and VM. The VM cannot access the internet. 6. USB controller. Enable USB support. USB 1.1, 2.0, or 3.0. Connect USB devices like flash drives or external hard drives to the VM. 7. Sound card. Enable or disable audio for the VM. Configure the audio driver. For example, ALS, Pulse Audio, based on the host system. 8. Display. Adjust video memory and enable 3D graphics acceleration for better performance in graphical applications. VM settings. Options. 1. General. View and edit the VM name, location, and guest operating system details. 2. Power. Configure power options like suspending the VM when closing VMware Workstation. 3. Shared folders. Share folders between the host and VM for easy file transfer. Example: enable always enabled and add a folder path. 4. Snapshot. Manage snapshots to save the VM state at a specific point in time. Example: take a snapshot before installing new software. 5. Auto protect. Automatically take snapshots at regular intervals to protect against data loss. 6. Guest isolation. Enable or disable drag and drop and copy-paste functionality between the host and VM. 7. Access control. Encrypt the VM and set a password to restrict access. 8. VMware tools. Install VMware tools to enhance performance and enable features like shared folders and better display resolution. 9. VNC connections. Enable remote access to the VM using a VNC client. 10. Appliance view. Configure settings for importing, exporting virtual appliances. 11. Autologin. Automatically log into the guest operating system when the VM starts. 12. Advanced. Configure advanced options like firmware type, BIOS, UEFI, and OAPIC settings. Finally, click Power on this virtual machine to begin the installation process. Activating the VM. Click anywhere inside the VMware Workstation or VMware Player window where the virtual machine is running. This will capture your mouse and keyboard input, allowing you to directly interact with the VM. If the mouse isn't responding properly, installing VMware tools can help improve integration. Entering full screen mode. Press Ctrl+Alt+Enter to switch the VM into full screen mode, making it fill your entire display. To exit full screen mode, press Ctrl+Alt to release the mouse cursor. Then press Ctrl+Alt+Enter again, or use the VMware menu options. Follow the OS installation wizard to set up the operating system. VMware Workstation Pro offers extensive customization options for creating and managing virtual machines. By understanding the hardware and option settings, you can optimize your VM for various use cases, from software testing to running multiple operating systems seamlessly. Installing VMware tools in a Windows VM enhances performance and enables features like shared folders and seamless mouse integration. Here's how you can do it. Start your VM, open VMware Workstation or VMware Player, and launch your Windows virtual machine. Insert the VMware Tools CD image. Click on VM and then select Install VMware Tools. If the option says Update VMware Tools or is grayed out, it means VMware Tools is already installed. Open File Explorer, navigate to this PC, and locate the VMware Tools disk. Run the installer. Double-click Setup.exe to start the installation. Follow the prompts, click Next a few times, then Install. If prompted, accept any driver installation requests. Reboot the VM. Select Reboot Now and click Finish. After restarting, your VM should have improved graphics, shared clipboard functionality, and better integration with your host system. Installing VMware tools in a Linux VM improves performance and enables features like shared folders and seamless mouse integration. Here's how you can do it. Install OpenVM tools. Recommended. Most modern Linux distributions support OpenVM tools, an open-source alternative to VMware tools. Go to VM then install VMware tools. If the option is grayed out, it means VMware tools or OpenVM tools is already installed. Debian-based distributions, run the following command. Red Hat-based distributions, use yum or dnf depending on your version. Arch-based distributions, install VMware tools using pacman. Enable the service. OpenSUSE-based distributions, install using Zyper. For GUI-based VMs, install OpenVM Tools Desktop. Debian-based distributions. Red Hat-based distributions. Arch-based distributions. OpenSUSE-based distributions. Reboot your VM. Install VMware tools manually. If you prefer the official VMware Tools package, insert the VMware Tools CD image in VMware Workstation. Go to VM, then install VMware Tools. If the option says Update VMware Tools or is grayed out, it means VMware Tools or Open VM Tools is already installed. Mount the CD image. Create the destination folder if it doesn't exist. Copy the installation package to Documents, VMware. Extract the package. Navigate to the extracted folder. Run the installer. Follow the prompts to complete the installation. Restart the VM. After installation, your VM should have better integration with VMware, including improved graphics, shared clipboard functionality, and folder sharing. There are two primary methods to backup and restore a VM in VMware Workstation Pro: copy, paste VM files, export, import the VM. Each method has its advantages and trade-offs, depending on your needs. Method 1. Copy, paste VM files. This method involves manually copying the VM's files. Backup, copy, locate the VM folder, open VMware Workstation Pro, and find the VM's storage path. The default path is usually copy the entire VM folder, including VMX, configuration file, VMDK, virtual disk file, snapshots and log files, if any. Store the copied folder in an external drive or another location. Restore, paste. Copy the backed up VM folder to the same directory on the target machine. Open VMware Workstation Pro, select File, then Open, and browse to the VMX file to re-register the VM. Start the VM. It should work as before. Pros: fast and simple, preserves exact VM state, no conversion required. Cons: may break if restoring on a different VMware version or system. Snapshots or linked files might be missing. Method 2. Export, import VM, OVF format. VMware Workstation Pro provides an export appliance feature, which packages everything into an OVF, Open Virtualization format, file. Backup, export, open VMware Workstation Pro, and go to File. Then export to OVF. Select the VM to export. Choose the export format, OVF or OVIA. Select a destination folder and click Export. Restore, import, open VMware Workstation Pro, and go to File, then Open. Select the OVIA or OVF file. Click Import and configure VM settings. Start the VM. Pros: more portable, works across different VMware versions, self-contained and structured backup, easier to transfer VMs to another system. Cons: takes more time to export, import, may require reconfiguration after import. Which method is best? For local backups and quick restores, use copy, paste. For migrating VMs or structured backups, use export, import. VMware Workstation Pro allows you to export and import virtual machines using the OVF, Open Virtualization format, making it easier to transfer VMs between systems. Export a virtual machine in VMware Workstation Pro. Open VMware Workstation Pro and ensure the VM is powered off. Go to File, then Export to OVF. Select the VM you want to export. Choose a destination folder and file name. Click Export and wait for the process to complete. Tip: the exported VM will be saved as an OVIA or OVF file, which can be imported into another VMware installation. Import a virtual machine in VMware Workstation Pro. Open VMware Workstation Pro and go to File, then Open. Select the OVIA or OVF file you previously exported. Review and modify VM settings if needed. Click Import and wait for the VM to be created. Start the VM. It should run as expected. Difference between export, import versus copy, paste, method, export, import VM, copy-paste VM files. Portability can be used across different systems. Works best on the same system. Completeness includes all configurations in one file. Might miss snapshots or linked files. Ease of transfer simplifies moving VMs to another machine. Requires manual file management. Speed takes time to process. Faster for quick restores. Which method should you use? If transferring a VM to another system or backup, use export, import. If making a quick local backup, use copy-paste. And that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so you won't miss out on any new uploads. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you later.